doing a lot of tank supports, but then they moved into enchanters, and I'm interested to see, will they keep that experimentation going? GamersOrigin, they experimented with the Jhin as well, right? So I want to see if they'll keep that going, or if they're going to go back to tanks, or what they're thinking here. We've got the Aphelios coming out with Jinx bans and Corki bans and Victor bans. So the normal range you want to pick into Aphelios is kind of down. And there's the Jhin. We'll see where it ends up going.
You just hit on it, right? I mean, we have no idea where this could end up going. Will it go to the mid lane for Ronaldo? We saw it last time around.
Yeah.
Didn't play too well into the Victor. But like you said, ability to be able to potentially flex this. And while BDSA should be able to know this, as it looks like might be a little hover over the Jace. There actually is a lock-in here for the Jace.
Yeah, well, I like that a lot. You might see a transition into Malphite Ornn bans, or they're going to say, okay, maybe Ronaldo will spice through the Jhin. We don't think he'll be spicing, go Gwen in mid-section and pick Malphite, so they just end up banning LeBlanc and looking to ban more mids, so they will pick mid probably on Crown Shot slot there, or GamersOrigin could bring out another flex, put Gwen mid, and just go Malphite or Ornn into the Jace, and that could actually be an issue for their composition. They seem to feel safe here with the setup as is.
Yeah, we'll see if Vijachachi, could get something going on this Gwen. He's traditionally been on this Ornn. Something we were talking about coming in here, Veteran, was the fact that, listen, all their wins are with Alistar and Ornn. Of course, piloted by Vijachachi and Enjawave. So we'll see what ends up happening here, and if they can maybe pick up a win with a bit of a different comp, as now we're going to see some more mid-lane bans thrown in the way of BDSA, as Rise also going to be taken off the table.
Yeah, they're really heavily committing to these bans here, so I'll be very surprised if they pick anything but mid on next. GamersOrigin definitely want to limit the options Aphelios has with that fresh ban.
Sure.
Interested to see where they go next. Adot was very comfortable in Enchanters beforehand, and Enchanters do work really well with the Aphelios, so I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Well, I think our draft it disappeared. It came back. No twist in here
back,
just yet,
God.
But yeah, we are good to go. And
they banned Vex. All right.
Yeah, Vex ban comes through, and now it looks like Tahm Kench is picked up here for BDSA.
Yes. Okay, and I like seeing the Janna. That was an old school pick into these Tarns. Doesn't go so well with a Jhin lane, though. Rakan, though, goes phenomenally well with a Jhin lane. Leona is also up and Fresh is down, so that's an option, but we're just going to go straight with the Rakan. Then we're not going to see Leona on the side of BDS. It's Zoe. Okay. So the normal things you'd like to do into Zoe are down, but I look at their composition, and I think Malzahar would actually not be bad here. You can protect Crown Shots on Aphelios here really well. You have a good lane into Zoe, and there's triple melees that really don't want that lockdown from a Malzahar coming in. It's also not very easy for champions like Gwen to go into the QSS. So that's what I'm thinking. They're just going to go over the Orianna. It's not as bad as it would normally be into like the Victor, Jinx, Corki, super high range compositions.
Right.
So this is a good pick for Zico here. Doesn't come into the same issues he ran up into in Nice. And it's a very high damage composition overall from BDS. I like it a lot. Once they get the damage in, this Viego is going to pop with his resets and the fight's already won. GamersOrigin, they have to prevent that happening.
They do have to prevent that happening, and let's dive into a bit of last week here for us while we got time before we get into the game here, Veteran, because we were talking about BDSA, the team that was 5-3 before Nice. They were 5-1. They were at the top. They're the only team that actually had taken a win off of LFL. Look, as we get ourselves in. And now, with already a minute of play in, it looks like we're just actually going to skip the intro. We're jumping right into the action here for us. Again, GamersOrigin up against BDSA. 5-3 right now for BDSA. GamersOrigin 3-5. Trying to see if they can maybe put themselves in the mix with all of these teams that we currently have in the standings that are at 4-4. There's a good 4 or 5 of them that are actually tied up here. So a lot of ways to be able to make some room happen, be able to climb these rankings. But it starts with finding a win here versus BDSA. And coming off the O2 week, GamersOrigin certainly have the opportunity to do so.
Okay, so good starts from both junglers. Kind of interesting to see Lee move towards topside early. I'd anticipate then that Gwen's going to be very aggressive and that they're looking to do something 2v2 there. Makes perfect sense for Viego to be moving up there. He should have an element of safety. Agresivo should be able to do stuff level 1 and should be able to get priority there. Think we're going to have a pretty hard contest once we get there, though.
Very well could be the play. Keeping close eyes here on Shio and the Kareem matchup. Seen Kareem play the Lee Sin before, especially in the early weeks, and was making some of those flashy plays. So we'll see exactly what he's going to be able to do. And kind of turning our attention, down to the bot lane here, Crown Shot and Erdote. They have been two of the strongest 2v2 laners that we've gotten to see. Only it was last week that they finally ended up getting punished there versus it was Cody Sun and Roxo. So we'll see if they're going to be able to kind of get back to where they were, especially now that Crown Shot is back on this hyper carry and will be able to do things. And well, Vijichachi as well. He's kind of been playing tank duty quite a bit, but he's back on the Gwen, back on the carry, seeing what he can do here up against Aggressivu, who does have this carry matchup and will also be one we keep our eyes on.
Yeah, interested to see if Lee goes to skip wolves here, because that would indicate that he's looking to just straight gank top. You see the slope of starting on top side. And I agree with you about Crown Shot. Like, ever since the LDLC days, this guy has been phenomenal. Obviously, he had that massive split on Mad Lions where they ended up winning one of the early EU Masters. They almost beat that Origin lineup with Forgiven, etc. on it. He's always been one to watch. He's one of the top ADCs in all of the ERLs, and every time that they give this guy an inch, he goes a mile. But this isn't where the game's being played around on the first clear, right? It's all about this top side. It looks like Lee's not going to be able to contest early here unless Gwen does something now and maybe Lee moves up lane for it. Otherwise, you can see Viego going to contest. Zico trading very heavily with Zoe, trying to prevent her contesting on this top side here. Shio does get the scuttle. He gets out. Jace recalls. And Zico, somewhat safe under his tower. This trade can't be capitalized on, right? Looks a bit bad for Zico there, but Zoe couldn't move into River this whole time. And now, Dote, from Crown Shot's advantage, is looking to help Zico get that recall off. And then Jarve's like, no, you're going to have to go through me if you want to help your mid lane.
That's right.
Love seeing these parries between the teams, though, right? They're all thinking about what it is they should do. And ultimately, BDS, they look like one mind here. And that's very, very encouraging.
That's what you do like to see very early on. TP going to come out right away now for Ronaldo. Wants to keep that lane pressure up. Might be matched here for Zico, and that is exactly the case. Ooh. Already a lot of early trading going back and forth between these two, so it might be something that the junglers look towards. But Shio on the top side just going to take a recall, just seeing if anything does end up breaking out here. Vijichachi decides to take a trade. He'll be here to punish, but more or less just going to cover for him as he resets and goes back to base and gets out.
Yep, so he covers there, but he's also delayed on Lee. Lee could maybe opt to skip these Krugs and gank bot if Crown Shot and Adote were to try to reshove this bot lane, but they're playing very patient here. This is a very brainy lane that's going on here, right? And they're making sure that Shio doesn't get punished for escorting Jace on top. But Lee, he was on the map first, and this has turned into an invade with the Zoe priority, right? So this could really pop off here.
All right, there's the grand entrance. Shio going to be under a bit of a threat, but we'll be okay now. They are again in his territory, and he's now got his bot lane starting to move over here with him. Adote just going to be able to back him up. Sonic Wave hits again. I don't think they're going to stay for the Gromp. Vision just going to start to be cleared as everyone just kind of does the stare down, and we'll start to back away.
Yeah, so there was the punishment for staying to escort Jace on top side. I do think he should escort Jace on top side. I think that was good by him to do. But that's always the risk. And now Zico, he was really aggressively to move Ronaldo back, and they managed to get him on it.
Oh, do they ever. I mean, a beautiful play here. Just aggressive trading for Zico. Punished very heavily. And now it's out on Orianna without her flash here for the next 5 minutes.
Yes. I mean, that one delay. 20 seconds, that was the difference between Shia going back and Karim KT going back. And this is all they've gotten off of it. Now mid lane's going to be in danger again on this bounce back. He's going to lose that can, he's going to lose XP. He gets level 6 far later than Ronaldo does. But maybe on this wave push, they could try to do something. But his bot lane's recalled, so what's he going to do? Can he do something topside? Not really. Just those 20 seconds and the whole map has changed already. Agressivo's on a bad wave on top. His mid can't do much about that. Lee's on the map first. This is how these games snowball. And it's really good to see that GamersOrigin show they know how to play these situations.
Oh, Kareem will be forced off of the crowd. Nice sidestep here. Wants to group with Ronaldo. It is 3 strong, though. Tomcatch going in. The shockwave connects. Kareem will end up dropping. Greedy pathing. But Vijichachi now entering into the fight. Let's see if they can try to get one back. Ronaldo looking for the paddle start. Not going to connect. And BDSA still holding on to the numbers. Will be able to come out with a 1-for-0.
I think GamersOrigin felt like they had to do a bit more than they actually did there. Karim could just back off. He still has camps to clear. He can just move bot side. His mid section's still going to get priority. They could even just trade that priority top side for this Drake. Oh, they caught it on the rotation.
Well,
see you.
Yeah, I feel like Adote is like trying to throw out the tongue lash there, or he's just trying to flex his muscles, but he's got no HP to do so. And well, there's also a Zoe right behind Enjawave, so it's easy setup for him. Another freebie more or less that ends up kind of going right back over to GamersOrigin.
Yeah, I mean, well, they managed to find something. Do have to say on the earlier play though, Karim KT definitely could have just abandoned that, gone bot side, but GamersOrigin, when they go to a play, they commit together. And that's honestly the best way to learn. You commit together, then you at least can tell yourself later, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Right.
You know?
Starting the plate.
Okay. Agresivo getting the plate. His wave will be quite safe, so he can do whatever he wants now, depending on what his jungler wants to do. Bot lane's also reset. We're probably not going to see much for a bit then. Crown Shot extends, though. I think they're looking to make a play for this Drake. And then GamersOrigin might want to contest. Thing is, Agresivo can move first for this. So I'm not sure this is in their interest to contest.
Yep, Shio here now with Agresivo. So they're going to be able to maybe make a play on the Rift. Might just be a trade of objectives, pending that they even realize the BDSA have started this up. Mid lane priority right now also for Zico, so he can move over. But Enjawave, he's rotated up. Ronaldo also here. Could fish for a Paddle Star and a Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but I don't think they want to make the play just yet. Predator comes out for Enjawave, but can't find an angle in.
Yeah. I mean, you have priority on top and you have priority on bottom BDS. If an extended fight happens topside, it's GamersOrigin that have to leave it, not BDS. So BDS can do whatever they want right now. Brief window here where Jace needs to move topside and repush, but on that situation, GamersOrigin decide this isn't the play for us, and they're correct to do so.
Still lots of players hovering around the top side. For MKT, is he going to look for an angle in? There's a pink ward in that bush, so could find an angle in, but Vishachachi's walking up pretty aggressively, and I think Agresivo wise enough to say, listen, I think something's going on up here in the top lane. Battlestar comes in, Adote is going to be able to soak that up as he helps Zico. Just get the mid lane pushed in here under tower. Might now make a move back over to the Rift Trail, but a lot of this hovering around the Rift, it's just a matter of, are they going to try to start this up here again?
Yeah. Looked like a bit of miscommunication there. Jace started pushing the wave, which put him in the danger zone, but Adote went to mid and Shio went to Raptors. And this allowed Lee to cover Gwen, and Jace just couldn't move up to the wave anymore. So now you have a situation where Gwen actually has an easier access to the fight than Jace does. Jace had to make a choice there. He lost CS there that I don't really think he should have. So, little bit of miscommunication around the Herald. Currently, the whole game is still around this very long Herald contest. Feel like we spent half the game here.
Yeah, it feels like that. A lot of trading now coming in. Vishachachi maybe just trying to loosen up. Agresivo under the tower, but there's a lot of BDSA members that could look to pounce. So Vishachachi going to wisely back up, come back to the river. I think blue buff now going to be exchanged and should end up going over to Ronaldo. That'll be the play. Give him a little bit more mana, a little bit more pressure to try to contest this mid wave that has been assisted time and time again here for BDSA.
Yeah, Vishachachi had a good wave though, got the crash in before Tom or anyone was actually in range to do something. And now Karim KT finds the window. Nice kick into the Q, nice combo there. It lands a very, very easy kill. Eventually, one of these shifts top found it, and it was GamersOrigin.
And now you might be able to move in for that Rift Trail. The Agresivo does not have the TP to get back on the map just yet. So Karim KT going to start that up here for us as Enjawave again, another appearance into the mid lane. Just going to put Zico under a bit of threat. Also should be able to make this rotation over to the Rift Herald. I don't see any contest likely coming in here. You don't have your top laner. Should be a free one. And well, still plenty of time to be able to collect some plates once you grab it.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of control that BDS had around that, you would expect that it would have moved over to them. They still have a lot of very strong win conditions here, though. Crown Shot has been getting further and further ahead the longer that this contest has been going, and ultimately their combination still favoured, but the victim in all of this is definitely Agresivo. He's 20 CS behind now on that top matchup, that one gank by Karim KT, the one successful lean that they did towards topside from a lot of leans on both. This ultimately has given GamersOrigin a window to win this game. So let's see how well they play through this advantage of Vishachachi, with Karim's camps on top side, Vizzy coming in lane, and Agresivo pushing.
Adote in the bottom side of the map right now, getting all the vision control around the dragon at the front of this red quadrant. We'll be able to set them up for a play on the dragon if they decide to move in here for it, but a reset's coming through for Karim. Going to come back in on the map here, still has access to that Rift Trail. You could look to drop it and then move in for the dragon. A lot of different options right now, but you do have to at least Always shout out Crown Shot in the bot lane, able to build himself a CS lead, does have the Gale Force, so item advantage over Smiley right now, and BDSA now going to slowly move in and start to take control of the river and start up the Dragon.
Yep, BDS once again are first on the objective, have all the control, can dictate the terms of engagement, but it's turning into a standoff, and last time that went over to GamersOrigin. Karim's here, he has the Herald, he could drop it mid, he could drop it bot, and that will give him priority.
Quickness into the grand entrance. Charm finds the second as well, but Crown Shot's got such a shield. That is going to be the kick play, and now we open up with a curtain call. Damage coming in from afar. Should be able to block that up here. Crown Shot's even going to tank a couple of the last hits. Shockwave used there from Zico. It is just Karim, so a lot of ultimates used here, and now it's Geo that have control in the river.
Yes, even with no kills there, just the initial pressure did enough. It forced BDS on the turret. They're not letting them get back in towards the Drake pit, and they win the contest again, starting from the weaker position again. Last week, the question was about execution of GamersOrigin, with certain plays probably coming to the audience mind right now. But this time, they're coming in on worse setups, but executing better and winning these contests. It's very encouraging from them.
Looking at just about a 1K goal lead here, roughly. Slightly under. So good stuff here for the side of GamersOrigin. Much cleaner early game. Karim being active as he can be on this Lee Sin at the moment. And now he's got plenty of tools to be able to utilize. Still got about 30 seconds before the plates are going to collapse. So we'll see if a Rift Herald play comes into mid. Or Dote is covering it as if they were going to make it. So we'll see if they decide to make the play on the mid lane. Zico is going to be able to dodge out and make sure he does not hit with any of that CC as well.
Yep, Rakan's been hovering topside this whole time as well, so Jace can't go for trades on Vizicachi. Jace is falling further and further behind. The more pressure that GamersOrigin put around Vizicachi's lane, they transition Anjavi to mid, drop the Herald. Here comes the fight!
Grand entrance, it hits two in the back line here for BDSA. They are going to lose Eco. They do get rid of the Rift Herald, so it doesn't crack for the plates, but they find a kill on mid. Now they have some pressure to start moving into the jungle.
And now we've fixed GamersOrigin draft. Just give the Jhin to Smiley, and wonders definitely seem to be happening for them. Also worth noting that on all of these contests, with the double threat of Jhin and Zoe, it's not like you can feel safe in River at any point against these champions. Right. So how they decide to play against them later on, that's gonna probably be the biggest concern for BDS. Probably a Dote would have to be the threat there, but ultimately, you know, this game looks really good for GamersOrigin. Vizicachi is getting a much bigger lead against Agressiva, and he's played Gwen before this split and ravaged the side lanes on that champion when allowed to get this lead. You see Karim again here, just in case Agressiva decides to go for a turret, go for a little bit too much. You saw Anjave before the last team fight, went through top to go for that play. Get a catch, but that's not going to turn into anything yet.
Crown Shot out a little bit here, so below 50% HP, might have to back off. We'll see if he decides to reset or stay on the map. And at the moment, Ronaldo starting to feel himself, feeling good. He's got that Ludens locked in, but top lane, he talks about it. Skirmishing, the fighting, Vizicachi having that level lead over Aggressivu at the moment. Seeing exactly if he can push that advantage, but bot lane, that's going to be the shockwave. It clears the minion wave, and that will make sure that engine wave can't get in there to set up the dive.
Yep. Good defensive play by Zico, but he just has to get out of there. His team is not going to be there on time to defend. This wave, ultimately no one on BDS is going to be able to get it. And that ticking time bomb on top lane just keeps ticking. This is a play through mid for BDS, right? Their bot lane has had to reset, and now they're looking to defend that. Aggressiva is going to again be alone by a Gwen that's being played towards the whole time. I feel very confident right now if I'm GamersOrigin in this game.
Smiley should be able to take down the first tower of the game. Reset coming through there for Karim. Just going to be able to make sure that does go over. So Smiley now cashing out a little bit more gold in his pocket as he's going to take a reset. Looks like the rest of GamersOrigin also going to follow through. We are about a minute and a half away from our second dragon. Is just a cloud. But on that same note, we also have the Rift Herald coming up here very soon. So there's going to be plenty of neutral objectives to fight over here on the map.
Yep, and then we'll see how strong this Zoe and this Jhin are in the composition of GamersOrigin. It's been winning them all of these contests, and so has Karim KT. Karim KT, despite maybe that early skirmish, has had a significant impact on this game. And on his previous teams, he was very good about playing against particular lanes, and here he's basically won the top side. What Vizichachi does with this lead will definitely still go credit to Karim KT's early game.
Well, a lot of pressure right now from Geo, getting some vision set up. Enjawave again playing with Kareem like a unit, making sure he's always with them, ready to make a play, ready to pounce. They know Shio is in the top lane when he uses he on the wall, so they certainly have an idea. Yeah. There could be some members up here, but it looks like it's going to be a slow rotation for BDSA. The Rift Herald is started up. Kareem is going to be here. We'll see if Shio wants to try to get in, but maybe he's looking for top lane. Smiley does have access to his summoners. Will he be able to escape? Gale Force comes out, the flash as well, so sure they're able to get it, but now a play for Geo inside of the jungle. They can't find Ardote. He's able to escape, and now the Rift Herald might be the play call here again.
Yep, I mean, they've managed to defend against this aggressive play by BDS, and they just go right back into Riven, right back in towards the Herald. No one actually died from that. Lee Sin and Rakan, very, very safe champions. Jhin a bit less so, but Smiley, he had a very good read on the play as it was happening. Interested to see what they do with this. They could potentially drop it mid and immediately try to contest this Drake. Ronaldo, definitely not letting Ardot go anywhere near River for free.
Will come through, picked up the flash. Might as well utilize it. See if you can poke out Tom Gench a little bit. Ground shot, nice sidestep. Make sure that he does avoid it. He does not have a cleanse. Obviously no QSS this early. So would have been in some potential trouble. Might have had to blow in the flash, but how about that? Paddlestar comes through another sleeping trouble bubble with the shockwave. It finds two. Ardote finds the engage. Ronaldo goes into the stopwatch for now, but he's in trouble, but he's able to flash away. Aggressive view, make sure he does not get out, but it's two. Back for Vizichachi. Looking for the triple. Chachi dives under mid, and he'll take a 3-for-1 trade for Geo.
The ticking time bomb has exploded. A lot of priority was put on this Vizichachi Gwen pick early, and now I'm having flashbacks to earlier on when Vizichachi was just an unstoppable monster on side lanes. We've gotten to that point again. Sure, you get the Cloud Drake, but it's one Cloud Drake. You're 3 away from a soul, and this Gwen is nigh on unstoppable right now, and the game now becomes all about the Vizichachi show. You know, once you recall, by the way, Vizichachi, you have to spend this gold first, man.
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't want to get too greedy up here. He's got a level lead. He's got a lot of cash. Does not want to give it over to Aggressive View, but now we'll take one more look here at the replay.
Yep, okay, so Ronaldo here gets very, very aggressive trying to eliminate Crown Shot before the fight begins. They catch him, he just about gets out, but Aggressive, he had priority on bot. He moves in, executes on the kill, but GamersOrigin have already shifted towards the top side. He can't get in. They were already split around terrain, and Jhin, that's just a killing fields for him there, and they've gotten control of everything they needed. Gwen picks it all up.
Gold lead now starting to extend, getting closer to that 4,000 mark. The Dragon at least was taken throughout all of that for BDSA, so they do even us up, but it is just a Cloud Dragon, so Geo going to be fine giving that one over. No neutrals at the moment, but the Baron, of course, is now live and on the map here for the taking. At any point in time, Geo are able to keep this going and play around Chachi, who's now 2 items right now, veteran. I mean, he is ready to start taking over the side lane.
Yeah. I was just thinking there, like, look at the difference between his items and everyone else. Who do you send to match? You have to send the grouping. But if GamersOrigin match that grouping, do you really win that battle? They have to find some windows in opportunities like this where Vizichachi is off on his own. Do you just burn his teleport now and then reset? Do you end this fight before he arrives? They have to do it fast.
Oh, they do find him. Smiley ends up going down. No summoners, only have the Gale Force to try to escape. Can't do it in time, but now Vizichachi, he'll try to put some pressure on the tier 2 in the bot lane.
Yep, like you have to recall and you have to deal with this. You can't ignore it. So any play they make has to be quick, and before Gwen is already pressuring you to go back. They're kind of ignoring him on tier 2 though and just going for the tier 1. Not sure if they read preseason patch notes or not, because this is very worth for the Gwen.
Oh, it sure is. And well, this looks like it's very worth for Geo. But the shockwave is here. Maybe a turn for BDSA. Ronaldo in some trouble, and Crown Shot takes him down. Geo, Kareem, and Enjawave. They're running away, but Vizichachi, he is in the base, and he has taken down an inhibitor tower.
I guess somewhere in the playbook, you could also just lose a fight on top side and just let Gwen do whatever she wants spot, but ultimately this ends up putting BDS in a more losing position than they were in beforehand. This bottom inhibitor is so important, because now that lane will also push into you, and the enemy can just pressure Baron, which has been up for a whole minute, guys.
Hey, you hit on it, and Aggressive doesn't have his TP up just yet. Zico does have his, so he might be responsible for coming down here if there's ever any pressure here for the side of GamersOrigin, but they've been playing the map extremely well. Vijachachi is a monster. I mean, he's got all of his gold from the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 to go back and spend, and you take a look at the gold chart here for its veteran, and it has been snowballing completely for the side of GO.
Yeah, I mean, credit to GamersOrigin. Didn't quite understand why you would opt to path topside on your first clear, but they looked into this game and they were like, let's just go back to basics, guys, alright? None of these fancy dive things. Let's just pick a really strong champion that we know is very difficult to deal with and camp it. Why not? And look, it's worked. Sometimes the simple ways are the right one. Back to basics.
Smiley should be able to take down the tower. Tower number 5 now going to be collected as the pressure is so immense around this Baron Nashor at the moment. BDSA have little to no vision. They're losing pink wards. They're losing full control of this red quadrant. Vijachachi is still going to be difficult to deal with. He's not even interested about going down to that bot lane. It's going to auto push here with the super minions in play, and they're going to deny all of this vision. I mean, I'd love to take a look at the map for BDSA right now because it has got to be pure black. It's got to be all dark right now, and you have no idea where they are.
Yep, and there's another ticking time bomb on the map now. We had Gwen before, but now, how soon do you respond to bot lane here, right? You send Zico here, maybe they just burn his teleport topside, right? And then after that, who do you send down there? Agressivo? Well, then maybe they burn his teleport topside. Then after that, there's a 5-minute window. They can just get Baron now. Eventually, you have to respond to this bot lane. GamersOrigin just shouldn't be too eager, and they will eventually get the contest that they want. You see Agressivo here, recalling. He's likely to be the guy to respond to this gradually growing super minion wave on bot lane. There he is. The moment he appears, you know you have numbers. Pressure Baron. There you go. All right. Will Agressivo TP into contest? Do you opt for that one? He's half-health himself on the super minions. Oh no, it's doomed.
He's dying to the wave. This is looking a little troublesome right now for the side of BDSA. 5k HP. Here's the engage. They're going to take down the jungler with no Shio. That probably means no Baron. A miracle shockwave, a miracle play here from the side of BDSA is needed, but maybe they're going to be able to find the kills. Vijachachi is running them down. Another one on the board. Kill number 5. Kill number 6 might be on the way. Crown Shot is trying to fight back, but he can't out DPS Chachi. It is the Chachi show. Ronaldo finishes off the last one, and the Baron goes over to GamersOrigin.
Ultimately, there just isn't enough damage to make a clutch play like that on this Orianna yet. There's not enough damage on anyone on the board to make a clutch play, except for Vijachachi. And he is just securing the game for his team now.
Oh boy, BDSA, what happened from the top of the league to dying to Ronaldo right here?
Oh,
and there it is.
No.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble into the battle star. Oh man, it's looking rough.
Zoe eventually gets to this point, alright, that happens, but now I don't really see that many options left for BDS. I think this lead on top secured it, turning that into the inhibitor on bot secured it, and then this team fight I think was the nail in the coffin. Now it's just a question of does GamersOrigin close, or do we see an incredibly clutch play from BDS here? Maybe they can find the 5v3 grouping away from the Fed carry of GamersOrigin. These tiny windows, when they see them, they have to go in, and they have to make it count, or it's just game over in the next 5 minutes.
Well, the goal lead is certainly getting out of hand here. Level advantage, items, I mean, a death cap comes through now for Vijachachi. A 1k shutdown over his head if someone can claim it. But again, BDSA struggling to get any real control on the map. Tier 2 now going to drop in the mid lane. Ronaldo's going to happily grab that as they're just going to start setting up the rest of the waves as well.
Yeah, Tier 2 on top going down as well. They're just splitting them on the map. Who do you really send to try to match this Gwen? You try to send a group amount of people to match this Gwen. They take flank you around your top. There are very few windows here. You have to just pray that GamersOrigin miss position, but they're not doing that. They're not giving up this win. They've looked for this win for a long time, and they're going to take it.
Veteran, they might actually win without Alistar and Ornn. It might actually happen.
Yes.
It's looking possible.
But they do have an engager. On Njabe, and he has been very impactful on it as well. Him and Karim KT, it was a very simple game plan, but they both executed it really, really well. And Vijachachi, my god, did he run away with it.
Oh, has he ever. 3 inhibitors down. Minions pouring into the base. The Baron's still active. BDSA about to be carried out on the stretchers at the moment. What do they have for us? What's their miracle moment? Here comes the TPs. Vichichachi back in. Ronaldo back in. Oh, Kareem does get hit with a shockwave, but now that's a key summoner. You don't have the kick. Looking for it. Kareem can't find it. Curtain call comes out. Minions again still pressuring the towers. As that should be one. Nexus tower down. Oh! And there goes Zico. Pop like a balloon and nowhere to go as Ronaldo finds the kill. Now pressure onto the tier 2. Waiting for the waves. And these are double stacked super waves now. Nothing you can really do. The poke is just disgusting as Geo move back through. This win is absolutely theirs. They'll focus the Nexus. They'll take down BDSA, give them their 3rd straight loss here in week number 5.
There we go, and yes, things not looking so good.